Several huge musicians just got exposed for a massive COVID fund fraud scheme, basically. They misused COVID funds from the federal government, your money, meaning your money, in order to pay for luxury items, for mystery women, and just throw parties during the lockdown.
By mystery women, do we mean hookers?
Phil's face.
We don't know yet.
Phil's face when Mary started announcing this topic was amazing. He's just like, it was literally the Ben Affleck meme outside the cigarette. He's like,
yeah.
It's just so exhausting. It's so predictable.
Business Insider released this report on the whole fraud scheme, naming Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, Marshmello, and others, including Alice in Chains, Shinedown, Ray Sremmurd, and Steve Aoki.
So they're not down in a hole, is what you're saying.
These artists allegedly misused millions of dollars in pandemic grants meant for struggling businesses. The money was allegedly used to instead pay themselves, fund private jets, buy designer clothes, throw parties, all at the cost of taxpayers, meaning us. They received these grants and basically put it right back into their own pockets.
Shocking.
This says that very cut and dry happened with Marshmello, who received $9.9 million in pandemic relief funds. And because he had made exactly that amount on tour in 2019, prior to the pandemic, he justified basically paying himself all of the grant money. that was just exactly what happened. And then Lil Wayne and Chris Brown spent nearly $14 million of these pandemic relief funds on their own private jets, parties, and more. The grant was given out as, quote, a lifeline for struggling independent venues and arts groups during the pandemic. Many musicians struggled during the pandemic. Lil Wayne wasn't one of them. He sold master recordings from his record label's artists for more than $100 million. He was pardoned for felony gun possession by then-President Donald Trump. And as this investigation found, he received $8.9 million from this grant. And he used it to cover more than 2 years' worth of spending on luxury hotel stays and travel to and from nightclub appearances around the country.
To and from nightclub appearances that he got paid for, probably.
Yes.
I'd be willing to bet anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mystery woman went to flights and luxury hotels. I wonder who the mystery woman was.
Yeah, this is talking about some of the money that Lil Wayne spent.
Her name was $10,000 a day.
Yes, it was.
So 14,000 of all those millions of dollars allegedly went to mystery women, according to the investigation.
$14,000?
Yes.
Well, that could be, I don't know if
It says it went toward their flights and luxury hotel rooms for women who don't appear directly involved with Lil Wayne's tours, including a porn star and a waitress at a Hooters-type restaurant.
Well, you know, Trump's just going to have to pardon him again. 4 years.
Business Insider did reach out to Lil Wayne directly for comment, and instead he offered a sexually explicit overture to the reporter.
Yeah, I mean, they're reporters, so that's what they deserve. So, fair enough. I don't know if I have, many additional thoughts. If it's fit, 14 grand on, women that he doesn't know, they probably actually they were
just his girlfriends. They were just groupies.
It's probably just like he's buying them like first class flights. And honestly, if you're buying first class flights, $14,000 in a year isn't that much.
Well, at least when you steal your money, everyone's money, you're doing it so responsibly.
But you need to know that your tax money in 2019 went to Lil Wayne's groupies. Yep. Like, you should know that. Yep. You should feel uncomfortable with that. Chris Brown reportedly spent $80,000 from the grant on a birthday party and $179,000 of it on a celebrity basketball tournament.
Of course.
Steve Aoki paid himself $1.9 million of his company's payroll costs, and Shinedown, 3 members of which split their $2.5 million among themselves from their $8.3 million grant. And their 15 touring production workers
Can I ask-
split $650,000.
What is the point of giving these types of COVID relief grants to musicians?
I have no idea.
It sounds like a program that should have never existed.
Like I remember like
if I'd have known, I'd have been signing up for it myself.
yeah.
this is it just reminds me because like I was watching a lot of YouTube, when COVID was going on because everything was shut down. I was skating every day. I walking to and from to get anywhere, and I remember a lot of the channels in this space were covering all of the ways in which companies like Disney were going to benefit from the shutdowns and use it as a way to start cutting theaters out so that they could start building up their streaming infrastructure. And that's what happened. And so since then, we've seen the collapse as none of them have really been able to break out their subscriber growth beyond a certain level. And now they're kind of, in a way, they have to go back to the theater model as a way to run their business still for the big budget films and stuff. And I bet that an audit of the film companies would show levels of corruption far beyond any of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I want to know what Bob Iger was using COVID, I guess Bob Chapek was using COVID relief funds for. The people over at Paramount, I'm sure that the money that they were using for, probably less funny, but just as corrupt.
Yeah.
Like, they're not, I'm guessing Bob Iger and the people at Disney wouldn't be spending it on strippers. But maybe I'm wrong.
You could be.
I could
you
be
could
wrong.
be very
What
wrong.
makes
Maybe
you say
he's
that?
maybe he's into that shit. I don't know.
You don't know if Bob Iger has groupies.
Yep.
But yeah, the program was called the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant. And I guess instead of going to
shuttered-
venues,
yeah.
it went to the artists. That's insane. So
venue-
you didn't hear about this?
No.
You didn't hear about this free money hack?
All that
You
remains
didn't-
didn't get any free money from the government.
You
no.
didn't get the evil Hollywood Illuminati cabal email
No,
that
I
told you
wish,
about this with the clickable link.
I wish we did. No, we did not get any kind of COVID money at all. All the loans that I've ever taken, I have to pay back. I don't
Maybe
get
you
to,
should have.
Well, I mean, of course I should have. and the justification is, well, they did. That's the only
Seeing
justification
what these
I
people
have.
got away with. Yeah.
So.
2.14 million of Lil Wayne's grant went to setting a debt owed to his ex-manager, Cortez Bryant. That sounds like a payoff.
Yep.
Or some kind of hush money. Then to another manager, 1.38 million on private jets. That's insane. Then his lawyers, accountants, 528,000 on just clothes.
I think
Good Lord, just clothes?
Yep.
we've talked about at least a couple of celebrities who got in trouble for COVID grants, and it was a long time ago, but I don't remember who it was. But we did cover this at some point. Some celebrity that got caught up in all of this.
This is like shadier than the amount of money the Kamala campaign spent on the Call Her Daddy set.
Yeah,
Like
the off-center.
That cardboard shit did not cost $100,000, but who knows where the rest of the money went. And they don't even know where this mystery money left over went. They just said everything else was $1.3 million.
John
from Lil Wayne.
Durham says it was supposed to go to session musicians, so like musicians that play the live events and stuff like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, because they're not actually in the band. They don't write with them. They just get, pay for going tour.
Yep.
Unbelievable. And the thing is these stories, as egregious as they are, people tend to have short memories, and a lot of people have kind of already moved on from all of the ways in which this country got screwed during COVID. So a lot of people have already forgiven and forgot all of the things that were done to the average everyday person while they jet set and spend your money because the corrupt U.S. government gave them a grant that they did not need.
Meanwhile, Taylor Swift is over here giving her crew
Yeah, $200 million in
$200
bonuses.
million in bonuses. So, props.
We're going to find out
to
5
her.
years later that she got that $200 million from the COVID grant. And
I
that's why
really
she's-
hope not. But credit where credit is due if that really is money that she could have pocketed herself.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.